Well, good afternoon, everybody. I am Ryan with GLSCN. We're going to do a weekly live stream here regarding a few topics. So, number one, we're going to look at the week, what's coming up. Is there severe chances? Is there rain chances, et cetera, et cetera? Second topic we're going to discuss is the eclipse forecast. We're going to discuss the cloud forecast and what we could be looking at. And then third and finally, I want to briefly touch on a few questions we've gotten over the past day or so about the severe threat back on April 2nd and why that didn't materialize the way we expected it to. So we're going to pack some information full, try and keep this under 10 minutes, but we're going to see how this goes. So first and foremost, the upcoming week ahead. So looking at our model that we use, the GFS, temperatures across the region are going to stay quite colder on the colder side of things for spring standards here. We're going to see a bunch of temperatures in the 30s here. We're going to see a rebound, though, by the weekend of right around 40s and 50s, probably touching 60 here in some spots on Saturday. But then we get into Sunday and Monday, we look to see a low pressure system move into the area. And for Monday, the eclipse day, April 8th, we are monitoring the chance of some rain and perhaps some storms. So keep that in mind for Monday. Although the weather on Monday will be very nice across the region, especially in the further south. So if you're in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and even most of Michigan there, as well as southern Wisconsin, getting in on the 60s, perhaps even close to 70. That's going to be for Monday. Looking after Monday, though, we're going to see the warmth stays around. We're going to see 60s again. And after that, it is pure warmth on out. I do not see any significant cold chances that look to exist. The lowest temperature I see here is, again, the 30s for the upper parts of Michigan and Wisconsin there. But otherwise, after this weekend, starting Monday, we are going to be looking at a much warmer air mass here. So the takeaway from this, another couple days of some cooler temperatures. We get into Monday, we look for some rain chances, perhaps some storm chances, and then after that, warmth. Okay. Now, as for the eclipse forecast, we have a couple of ideas here of what's going to be happening. So, this is not an exact forecast just yet. It's just kind of going over data. The GFS model is a model we don't like to use very often for cloud cover. I'll show you guys what it's saying just for the fun of it at this point. So this model is moving in here. This is Sunday night. This is going to be Monday morning early. This is going to be 11 a.m. on Monday, and here's 2 p.m. just before the eclipse begins here in the Midwest region. We're seeing broken cloud cover in Illinois, broken cloud cover here in Indiana, Indiana, and then also Ohio is mostly cloudy, as well as Michigan and Wisconsin there. But we don't like to use that model because we do have other models such as the GDPS, which is much better at handling cloud cover. So we're going to move over to this model really quickly here. We're going to click on, we actually can't zoom in on this one, can we? I think we can actually. Yeah, there we go. There's a bit of a look here for the Midwest Great Lakes region here. It kind of cuts off Illinois, but the path totality here is the same. Looking at the overall picture here, moving into the Monday time frame right here. So we expect this initial band of clouds to move out of the area by Monday morning into early Monday afternoon. How fast that moves out to the east is going to determine how fast we clear out behind it. So this model, I trust this over the GFS. Illinois, Indiana, West Ohio, and even South Michigan may, I'm going to highlight that, may have the ability to clear out here just in time for viewing the eclipse here coming up on Monday. Areas in eastern Ohio, the further east you go, should I say, the further north you go, looks to have higher cloud covers. So Wisconsin, central and northern Michigan, I'm sorry, you guys do not look to be clear at this point. That could change. We'll let you guys know if it does. But for right now, the best chance of clear skies is going to be across Illinois and Indiana. We do have a forecast out on the page. Looks like this. I'll leave it up here for you guys to see for a few minutes here. The areas in red there, mostly cloud cover is expected. Areas in yellow, lower confidence, could see partly cloudy, but could be mostly cloudy as well, depending on how fast that cloud deck moves out. And then the areas in green have the highest chance of viewing the eclipse here. Of course, this is not going to be the path of totality. The path of totality runs across Illinois, or southern Illinois, southern Indiana, all the way through northwest Ohio, even brushing portions of southeast Michigan there over toward the Monroe County Luna Pier area. So that's your path to totality. So areas of best interest, if you're going to go to the totality areas at this point in time, are going to be Illinois and Indiana areas. Otherwise, the further east and north you go, the more cloud cover confidence there currently is. So if you guys want to see this more, we do have it posted on the main page on Facebook. So go ahead and check that out. And I'll go and take this off your screen right now. And I want to cover the last topic here. Why didn't the severe threat back on April 2nd, 2 days ago, why did it materialize? We have some questions here in the comments. We have some messages saying we hyped this way too far. And I'm just going to say, no, we did not. I'm going to explain this as best as I can. Okay. So for severe weather to happen, we need four ingredients to come together. We call it SLIM, which is shear, lift, instability, and moisture. So looking back at our forecast model for that day, 2 days ago here, we're going to look at basically one product we call supercell composite, which basically overlays the amount of instability we have over the moisture, over the wind shear, and it kind of spits out a color. So the brighter colors indicate a higher supercell composite, and lower colors such as green and yellows there would be a little bit lower. Orange, red, purples, those are the ones you want to kind of pay attention to. So when we got into the time frame on Tuesday, the model had a wide open, we call a warm sector here. Up top here, where this cuts off, this is a warm front, and back here, that's your cold front. So this whole area that's colored here would indicate a highly unstable and also a highly sheared environment. It's pretty wide open there across central Indiana and also Ohio. So why didn't this threat materialize? All right, let's go ahead and go back here to the first reason and the main reason why it didn't. Go back here to our forecasted radar for the time frame on Tuesday morning. This is 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. Check out the clearing we have here in Illinois and Indiana and southern Ohio, Kentucky areas. We didn't have anything in this general vicinity that said we're going to have storms. Now, looking back at our radar, the live radar back on that day, we're going to go ahead and take this off the screen here and replay it. This is 8 a.m. in the morning here. We see a huge cluster. These were actually severe storms at 8 o'clock in the morning that traversed across South Illinois, South Indiana, and South Ohio, parts of Kentucky as well. That complex of storms spit an outflow boundary out on the south side. So what that basically is outflow winds coming out of the storm. They're cold, stable winds that were on the south side of that storm that stalled the better moisture right around this area right here. So the moisture was projected to move north, and moisture is one of the ingredients we need for severe weather. So with that being said, that initial line of storms in the early morning hours on Tuesday stalled the moisture further south. So looking at the data that we have an archive of all this data here. We can go back and kind of look at what happened in real time. This overall system really held back the surface-based CAPE, which is instability, and it goes along with moisture as well. But looking at this, we're going to go ahead and run this through the time frame here. This is going to be at 5 p.m. here. Let's go ahead and stop this and rock this back and forth. So this is the red contour areas is where we have the better instability, moisture, lift, all that kind of good stuff. Watch how far south this is. This is at 2 p.m. It's supposed to be up here crossing into central Ohio at this point. But as we look here, it is delayed further to the south here and slowly works back up into the region. That is why the severe threat didn't materialize, because that moisture got shifted further south and delayed coming further north. Now, we did see it arrive later on in the evening, and that is also why we have a higher threat in east central Ohio. We had a couple tornadoes and a lot of severe weather that happened in eastern Ohio. That moisture finally arrived later on the evening, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. It did not arrive on time as expected. So that is why the severe threat did not materialize. The models played it wrong. Models are just guidance. They do not, they're really good to look at to get an idea, but they're not an exact fact. If we knew exactly what was going to happen with these setups, there wouldn't be a need for meteorologists, there wouldn't be a need for storm chasers, nothing like that. We exist for a reason. This is not an exact science. Things change very rapidly in weather. So with that being said, the overall answer to why the severe risk did not happen further north is because the moisture got delayed because the models got it wrong. Simple as that. But where that moisture did end up further south, the severe threat did materialize. We have 29 at this point reports of tornadoes. We have 231 severe wind reports and 28 severe hail reports across the severe risk. That could have been Ohio and Indiana, but At this point, I consider ourselves lucky up here. We did have a couple tornadoes in Ohio and Indiana. We also had a couple in Illinois as well, further up towards Chicago, surprisingly. But overall, that risk stayed in Kentucky and points south, which is great news for our region. Although those people down there are suffering from the damage that has occurred. Luckily, no fatalities, no injuries across the United States that I know about. But overall, this was a lucky scenario here. We don't always get that lucky, as we can look back on March 14th for a good example of that. So overall, the moderate risk did not materialize because the moisture never arrived on time. Simple answer. So if you guys have questions, feel free to drop those in the comments now. That's all I have to share with you guys. We kept it right around 10 minutes. Actually, I'm at 10 minutes and 20 seconds here. But that is all I got to share with you guys. So good week, nice cold week upcoming. Let me get to the weekend. Warms back up for Monday, and at that point, we are home free for a good while here. Maybe permanently looking at spring temperatures across the region. Also Monday, watching potential for some storms here, but we do have a chance to clear out across Illinois and Indiana for the eclipse. So I don't see any questions rolling into the comments here. So I appreciate you guys watching. That's all I got to share. Appreciate if you guys hit the like button on your way out, but I'm going to go ahead and hop off here and we'll go live if anything new materializes. So stay safe, guys. Thanks for watching.